Now I'm going to read off some of the questions that you list specifically in page 28 of your book, because when you read your book on time management, the magic of time management, there are some questions you ask that are punishing. They are tough, they are difficult, they are questions that I honestly believe that most people never take the time to ask themselves. So here we go. The first one is, what don't you like about your life? We talked about that. But then the second is, what don't you like about your health? Lee, why are you so adamant about that? I know you talked about it, but why are you so adamant about asking everyone watching this needs to ask themselves, what don't you like about your health? Why is it so important?
Because I've seen it change my life. I took this course back in, I was about 30 years old. I was very disciplined, but I wasn't organized. I was disciplined. I'd get things done, but I was working late at night, taking work home, coming in on Saturday and Sundays, until I learned a system to how to be working on the right things at the right time. And so all of a sudden I started getting results. And when I started scheduling my workouts, I got healthier. I lost 20 pounds. I was stronger. When you start to see the results of scheduling the priorities in your life, and somebody asked recently on the internet, said, say one word that describes your life, and I put down, I was the only one that had the right answer. I said complete.
Complete.
A lot of people said, awesome, great, and they're all lying because their life's not great. And you got to, you got all these things. If you don't get balance or rhythm in your life, you're not spending time, you got the right amount of time with your children, the right time with your wife, the right time with your health, the right time with your investments. You got it, all this comes together to create either a pretty good life or a pretty sad life if you don't if you let one of those get away from you. If you get really rich and you lose your family,
What's
or
the
you
point?
lose your health,
Yeah.
and let me tell you, I tell people the one thing you're going to have the biggest regret about, everybody, is if you lose your health and you could have done something about it because you just didn't think you could find the time.
Let me ask you this question. Question number 3 in your book, you say, what don't you like about your job, your friends, your relatives, or your salary? I mean, that's a lot of questions, and it seems pretty intense. So what do you mean by this?
Well, in my own life, I worked for Hilton for many years, and I was unhappy I had one day off. I was unhappy with my boss, who was not the kind of boss I enjoyed. He
Not the kind of boss you enjoy.
He was not a good person. He was a mean guy, yelled and screaming. So I quit. I changed my environment. I took another job. I got fired in that job. I took another job, got to Marriott, had a great career for 17 years. Then I got passed over. Then I quit again, went to Disney. I think I'm not going to get stuck in a place that I'm unhappy about my job. I'm not being treated. People don't appreciate me.
What about your
friends? Stay there.
What about your friends? You said you're not unhappy with. What don't you like about your friends? Well, that seems like a pretty tough question. What are you talking about there?
I think if most people look around, they don't have as many friends as they think they do. A friend to me is somebody. If I say, Clay, Priscilla and I and the kids need to move in with you for a couple of years till things work out here. And you say, no problem.
Can I give you a boom? That's going to happen. We'll make that happen.
Or, okay, no questions asked. Send me a check for $50,000. I got a little problem, and don't be quick. Just I'll pay you back. I don't want you to sign any promissory notes and all that rigmarole. We'll get lawyers involved here. How many friends do you really have? Not too many. People, they'll scatter. You'll never hear from them again. I was out of a job once, and I thought I had a lot of friends. People didn't even return my phone calls because you think people are going to help you. So I have a few, and my wife has a few. We have a few, and we pay attention to those. But we don't pay attention to everybody as a friend. And
what do you not like about your relatives? What do you mean by that?
Well, I've got relatives who got issues. They need money. They got all kinds of problems. They're not taking care of their children properly. We had to get involved in this. Unemployed. And
see, for me, that was a big thing when I read your book, and then also earlier on in my career when I read Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, and I read John Maxwell's book, 21 Laws of Leadership. I kept discovering over and over, it's so important who you choose to spend your time with. And I noticed that I was spending time with people that weren't helping me, they weren't uplifting me, they weren't encouraging, they didn't have that, they didn't have my back like what you're talking about. If you called them because your car broke down, they weren't there to support you. And I think it's so important for anyone watching this as an action step. We need to look right now at our job, at our friends, at our relatives, at our salary, and ask ourselves, in what areas am I not happy? And maybe I'm at a job where the job's great, but maybe I'm not bringing the effort I need to bring every day. Or maybe...
Or you're making a lot of money, but you don't like the job. You're going to do this for 40 years and be out there unhappy and come in complaining all the time and go home and having arguments with your wife because you're unhappy at work. And
Or maybe you're not the friend that you should be to those people, or maybe they're not the friend to you they should be, or maybe but if you take the time to think about these items and you think about them, boom, 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 asking yourself, what do I not like about my friends and my job? It seems like if you take time to reflect, you'll begin to be proactive about these things, right? You're not just reacting.
I mean, I have 4,758 friends on Facebook.
Oh yeah, boom.
But my main goal is to sell them a book.
Okay.
not for them to move in with them.